Let's talk about credit reports and more specifically disputes that show up on a credit report. So, as it relates to mortgage financing, disputes are typically not allowed to be on a credit report. So, for example, when a credit company pulls what we call a tri-merge, meaning a credit report that has Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, so it's all three of them are showing up. If there's an account that has the word dispute or disputed account, the mortgage industry is going to ask that that be updated and removed. So what does that mean? So first, let's talk about what credit reports, just kind of looking at them and why disputes would show up. So your normal credit report is going to show like, hey, we have this, Visa, MasterCard, whatever, credit card. And I'll give you an example. When Caroline and I bought a house many moons ago, this 10-year-old story or longer, she had a credit card showing up on her report that was not hers. Now, the good news is, whoever card it was, they were paying on time, but there was a $10,000 balance on her credit report. So we had to get that removed. So when we submit to Experian or whoever it was that was reporting it, it then immediately gets classified in their system as disputed account. So they basically say, hey, look, we're figuring this out. So that disputed shows up immediately to say like, hey, this may not be accurate. If a mortgage company were to pull their credit report, it would show disputed account on there. A couple of weeks go by, they verified that it is in fact not hers. It then gets removed from the credit report. So when that trade line gets removed, the dispute obviously goes away as well because there's no more trade line. So why is this important and what does it mean to you, somebody who may be looking to buy or refinance a home? In the mortgage world, the reason why we need dispute because the dispute kind of hides or masks that trade line from the overall ratings of what they do. And so for that reason, you can dispute everything that's terrible on somebody's credit report. If all those disputes show up, you may get this false positive and you may get this good looking credit score when in fact that may not be entirely accurate. So they really, I don't know how to say this without sounding too mean. They're really bad. The unscrupulous credit repair companies, the credit restoration companies, they will go in and dispute a lot of things and say, hey, look what we just did. We got your scores to go up. Well, again, that's a temporary moment in time because just because you dispute it, you can dispute anything, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the outcome you want. So in the mortgage world, to make sure that we're using accurate credit reports and credit scores and credit valuations, we're going to ask that all the disputes go away. So what does that mean to you? For somebody buying the home, you do need to then contact the creditor. So whether it's TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian, or all three, depends on who's reporting it on your credit report. You then got to call them up and either ask that dispute status to be removed, like, hey, just kidding, I don't dispute it, and they then remove it from the trade line. Or you got to go through that process and figure it out so that whatever information you're disputing gets updated. And they may sometimes say, hey, we disagree and we're not updating it, but at least the dispute status has to be removed. That process can take 30 days, 45 days. It just depends on what's being disputed and how long it takes. So ultimately, when you're going to dispute your credit report, know that you should do it long before you're getting ready to buy the house, because again, a mortgage company is going to require that that be done. So if you have any questions, and by the way, if you do need a credit recommendation, we love Wayne. Wayne, the credit guy, we'll put his link somewhere around here. Been using Wayne for over 15 years. The guy gets results. He's the only person we recommend. So I don't mind endorsing him with a heavy, like, yes, this is the guy you need to use. I'll put his information around here. And if you need help removing a dispute, like I said, we can help you, but technically just call Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax, and whatever account's being disputed, just call them and say, hey, I don't dispute it anymore. It may not help your credit scores, but it's what needs to be done to get loans done. I will say one qualifier, VA sometimes will give you a little leeway to say, hey, let's look at this and see what it really is. But for the most part, get your disputes removed before getting really serious about buying a home. Feel free, as always, you know this, right? Forward, share, subscribe, call the Mortgage Mark team if you need any help. And as always, thanks for watching.